Barefoot and alone on the cold, echoing stage, the boy from Tonda, Manila, stood as if the entire weight of the Philippines rested on his narrow shoulders, his name Miguel, a name so common in Quezon City that it usually disappeared into the noise of traffic, street vendors, and restless dreams, yet tonight it would be carved into memory. His clothes were faded, his jeans frayed at the hem, his shirt borrowed and too large, and his feet, bare, cracked, and dusty, told a story before he ever opened his mouth. From the moment he walked out, Simon Cowell's reaction was visibly poor and skeptical, his arms crossed, his eyebrows raised in that familiar expression that said he expected nothing special, maybe even a waste of time. Simon asked blunt questions, his tone sharp and detached, asking where Miguel came from, why he chose such a legendary song, and whether he truly believed he belonged on a stage that had crushed stronger performers. Miguel answered quietly, his voice trembling as he spoke of sleeping near a bus terminal in Pasay, singing for coins on jeepneys that ran through Caloocan, and sending every peso he earned back to a mother working long hours in Bacolod, hoping her son's voice might carry him somewhere safer than the streets. The audience murmured, some with pity, others with doubt, while Simon leaned back, unconvinced, his face saying what his words didn't, that poverty alone didn't earn applause. Then the music began. A slow, haunting guitar introduction filled the hall, and Miguel lifted his head, eyes closing as if he were standing not under blinding stage lights but beneath the open sky of Cebu's shoreline at night, where he once sang to the sound of waves instead of applause. The first line of Hotel California left his mouth soft and controlled, not an imitation, not a trick, but a deeply personal confession, and instantly the air changed. His voice carried the ache of Manila's overcrowded alleys, the loneliness of missed meals in Davao, and the quiet resilience learned from watching people survive with nothing but hope. Simon's posture shifted almost without him realizing it, his crossed arms loosened, his eyes narrowed, not in doubt now, but in focus, as Miguel's tone grew richer, warmer, and painfully honest. Each lyric felt stripped of polish and returned to its emotional core, as if the song itself had waited decades for someone like this barefoot Filipino boy to finally tell it the truth. Miguel didn't oversing, he didn't chase power. Instead, he let the words breathe, letting silence sit between notes, a technique learned not in a studio but on street corners in Iloilo, where listening mattered more than volume. The audience leaned forward, some wiping tears, others frozen, as his voice rose during the chorus, not loud, but wide, filling every corner of the room with a sense of longing that felt universal. Simon Cowell's expression transformed completely, skepticism melting into shock, then into something rarer, respect. This wasn't luck. This wasn't sympathy. This was undeniable talent shaped by hardship. Miguel sang about mirrors on the ceiling and voices calling from far away, and suddenly those lyrics felt like echoes from Quezon City slums, from nights spent wondering if tomorrow would bring food or silence. By the second verse, Simon was no longer judging, he was listening, truly listening, his mouth slightly open, his gaze locked on a boy he had silently dismissed moments earlier. The performance built slowly, deliberately, like a sunrise over Tagaytay, until the final chorus arrived with emotional force rather than volume, Miguel's voice cracking just enough to reveal the pain he carried without ever losing control. When he reached the final line, he held the note gently, letting it fade as if releasing years of hunger, rejection, and invisibility into the air. The silence afterward was heavy, sacred, almost frightening, as if no one dared break the spell. Then the audience erupted. Applause thundered through the hall, people on their feet, shouting his name, while Miguel stood stunned, eyes wide, tears threatening to fall. Simon Cowell stood too, slowly, deliberately, and for a moment said nothing, his face tight with emotion. When he finally spoke, his voice was lower, humbler, admitting openly that he had been wrong, that he had judged too quickly, and that a barefoot boy from the streets of the Philippines had just turned Hotel California into something unforgettable, something real. Miguel bowed his head, overwhelmed, knowing that in that single miracle moment, his voice had carried him far beyond Manila, beyond poverty, beyond doubt, and straight into the hearts of the world.